meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets.
All right, time to talk Syracuse Mets baseball. We do it right now with the skipper. It's the manager of the Mets, Dick Scott, joining us on a Wednesday morning. What's up, Dick? How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Good to be with you. Welcome back home.
Yeah, sure.
Nice little road trip out there. I guess, the world of Iowa was treating you well. Maybe you were dreaming a little field of dreams while you're out there. 5 of 6. We like it.
Yeah, it was a good trip. The guys played well. We pitched well. And we got to get in gear when we get back home here, though. Last night, I think we gave one away, and we need to pick it up a little bit today.
I like this winning mentality, Dick. I really do. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Before we get to the current roster of the Mets, I do want to talk about Ronnie Mauricio and heading on up to the New York Mets. He played last night and shipped quickly out to Los Angeles. Mets and Dodgers last night. Mets lost a tough one. Talk about Mauricio, how good he was, because he was fantastic in his very short stint with the Syracuse Mets.
He sure was. He was just on fire. I mean, he went 17 for 32 while he was here. And that's just incredible. I mean, he was hitting everybody and everything. I think he had 25 at-bats left-handed as a left-handed hitter, and he went 15 for 25, which is insane. But the thing about Ronnie is just really happy for him. He tore his ACL in the winter ball in 23, like November 23, and for him to have to just work for almost 18 months to get back to the major leagues. That's quite a story in itself, and I'm really happy for him. The organization's happy for him, and I think he'll give them a nice little spark up there.
Dick, when Ronnie's lighting it up down here, do you just take a moment to just go, all right, let's take a few pictures with my eyes, because he's not going to be here for very long. So let's enjoy whatever this is going to be and just enjoy it for what it is. Because selfishly, I'm a big Ronnie guy, and I knew he wasn't going to be here for long, but I just tried to savor it while it lasted.
Although with the roster above him,
I guess that's
tough.
true.
He could have been here for a while. You just don't know. I know it was part of Vientos getting hurt that got him up there. But go ahead, Dick, talk about it.
No, that's true. He probably would have been here a little longer, but with him playing the way that he was, at some point, it's like, all right, let's just see if he can give us a shot in the arm up here. So, just watching Ronnie come back, it was really special. And like I said, in spring training, he was very limited. He would do his work, but he can do this today, he can't do it again until Thursday. That type of thing. And so he's running well. He's playing second and third. He can play shortstop. Obviously, it's his natural position. But, we knew it wasn't going to be too long here. I'm sorry to hear that Mark hurt his hamstring. But it's nice to have, just think if it had happened a month ago, we wouldn't have had Ronnie available. So for the organization standpoint, having a player like Ronnie to just plug right in is fantastic.
Dick, even though Ronnie's here for a short period of time, but can a player like Ronnie coming down, can it sort of spark your ball club here with the Syracuse Mets and do something for you guys, momentum or any juices flowing or revving the engine, anything like that, even with a short time here and he leaves, but that energy or whatever he brought to the team could be infectious for the rest of the guys?
Maybe a little bit. I think the thing that was probably the best shot in the arm was him hitting third for us every night.
Yeah, right.
That's not bad.
where he was, he was just going off. It was crazy. I mean, even our guys were like, "Oh my gosh, this guy had 3 more hits today." He was intentionally walked twice in games out there, which in the minor leagues you don't really intentionally walk many guys.
Right.
Yeah, he sure did give us a shot in the arm, and I thought he might be here maybe another week or so, just because he hasn't had that long of a build-up, and it just, the injury came up, and it was just time to go, and, we told him, hey, you got Kershaw tomorrow night, and Ronnie's just like, okay, great. So I will say this is just a curious thing. When guys are switch hitters, they don't get that many at-bats right-handed because there's just not that many left-handed pitchers as there are righty.
Yeah.
And so it's always disproportionate, the number of at-bats left-handed versus right-handed. So he'll be fine, but I think that's probably an issue that I'd be curious to hear what Lindor says, even though most guys are probably naturally right-handed hitting, and they switch to left because of their speed when they're young. But I'd be curious to see how much extra work they have to do or the feel when they actually have to hit right-handed.
Yeah, that is a fascinating little study, the switch hitters of baseball, so that's pretty cool. Some other rehabs for you guys as well. I want to get through them real quick. Paul Blackburn had a nice little stint with you guys, went up and pitched very well for the Mets, the New York Mets, the other day. Tell us a little about what you saw with Blackburn, and you think he's there to stay in the Mets rotation.
Yeah, I think he's there to stay. That guy's just a pro's pro. He has no airs about him when he comes down here. He came last year for a while. He's just a great guy. Plugs himself right in. Does the same stuff our guys are doing. And you know what? I think the best part about there's two pieces to this. One is that he pitched very well. He's worked some different pitches into his repertoire over the time that he's been hurt. And that was really apparent when he was here. He was really sharp. He's a big strike thrower. But then he went to L.A. I mean, that's probably one of the best teams in the big leagues, if not the best team. And he pitched extremely well. But the other piece for me, from a development standpoint, is we have guys like McLean, Tidwell, and Sproat here, all big-arm guys, throw mid to upper 90s. And Paul Blackburn throws, he might hit 94, but he's pitching 92, 93. And he just carves up hitters. And I think it was good for our guys to see, look, I don't have to overpower these guys. I just have to locate this slider, change speeds, run a fastball here. And I hope that they watched him in his 3 starts with us, just really watching him attack hitters and just doing it with stuff that's not really that biggest stuff of this day and age. So that was impressive.
Yeah, he's a pro's pro, and I agree with you. It's good to have guys like that injected into the minor league organization once in a while. See how the big guys do it. See how the guys who have succeeded, who have been in the bigs for years, do it. You got another rehab going on right now with Frankie Montas. So tell us how he looked and how long do you expect that he might be with you guys?
Yeah, he started for us last night, and my feeling is that it's probably the equivalent of him getting his second or third start in a spring training. He's been out for a long time. He's just starting to come back. So he's going to have to build up. He's going to have to get his, he's up to 60 pitches last night, but, he hit 92, 94. But I think there's more in there. He threw strikes. They hit him pretty hard. But I feel like it's just more of him getting that same type of work as if it was the second outing or third outing probably second outing in a spring training. He's just that far behind. So he'll be with us for, 2 or 3 more. And hopefully he gets locked in and can go up and help the big league team. And I think we have Sean Manaea coming in. I don't have a date yet, but he's coming in behind him at some point, sooner than later.
I call them the M&Ms because I just always get their names confused. I'm like, just forget it. I'm just calling them the M&M boys. On Montas, again, just remind people who are listening, what was his injury? How long has the road been? Because it's been a bit.
Yeah, he had a setback in spring training, and, he had a little arm issue, but he's doing well. He's healthy. And like I said, he threw strikes last night. Good guy. I'm always curious when, I don't really have any history with him, and you're always curious as to how guys will behave when they come here because, they could treat it like a live BP, a sim game. Hey, I'm just going to get my work. I don't care. And, he went out and competed. He was disappointed that he gave up a couple of homers, and I think that's always a good lesson for our guys. We have had guys in the past that come in, and it's like, hey, I'm just here to get my work. And, they get the crap knocked out of them, and we sit here and just absorb another loss,
Dick, again, we're speaking with Dick Scott here on the Manchild Show with me, Boy Green, the Syracuse Mets manager. Now, Dick, how much of a competitor are you? How big of a competitor are you?
Sorry?
How
he wants to know how competitive a guy you are.
How competitive a guy
Why are you asking him this question?
Because
I don't know.
I'm setting
this
up
is a
for
setup,
another,
Dick, but go ahead.
For another
how
important
competitive
question.
a guy are you? Is this question?
Yeah.
Wow. Is there something behind that?
There is.
What are we doing?
Okay, let's get right down to it. Let's get right down to the brass
Just
tacks
ask
here.
him the question.
Tonight, of course, is this important game for the Syracuse Mets. Another game at historic NBT Bank Stadium.
Is it?
But Dick Scott, tonight is the night that Joey
It's Joey
Chestnut
night.
is rescheduled to be competing tonight after the game in a boneless wing eating contest. It's him versus 3 people from the audience. Whoever can eat the most boneless wings in 3 minutes wins. It's Joey, one guy, against 3 random
Right?
people.
Is it a combination, right?
It is.
They're
All
adding
3
up
of
the
them,
3
all of their
versus
numbers
Joey.
together.
Yes.
Are they really?
Yes.
Versus
Yes.
Joey.
Yeah, that's the contest, Dick. They couldn't even do it one guy because there's nobody that could get
Apparently
near
it's
him.
not fair.
So it's 3 people on one.
Combined versus his total. So
Joey Chestnut
yeah,
coming
Joey
in?
Chestnut, the
Joey Chestnut,
16-time Nathan's
yes,
hot
yes.
dog eating
Well,
champion. So, Dick, how would
I
you
think
compete?
We could probably. I think the people of Syracuse are going to rise up for this one.
Oh.
I really do.
I do too.
The Wings came out of upstate New York. I think they're going to have some pride in this one, and I think they're going to answer the bell. I think Joey's going to have his
So he's
hands
saying
full
Joey goes
tonight.
down.
Joey goes down.
Yes, I
Huh?
like it.
Dick Scott. Huh?
Bold prediction.
Yeah.
I think you get plus 500 in Vegas on that
Sure,
one.
good
Dick.
odds.
Take it.
I
Run
like
with it.
Yeah, I think we could. Yeah.
Well, let me
Maybe
ask.
he'll come into the clubhouse before the game, and we'll feed him a bunch of stuff to slow him down.
Smart, Dick. Be hospitable, right? He thinks you're just, you're just helping him out, and really behind you're like, eat.
Maybe we should have helped Dick out a little bit. I don't know if you could quickly get the numbers, Boy Green,
Yeah.
but we have numbers on Chestnut in terms of his wing eating ability. I remember we went through
What are
this
they?
when the announcement was made, Dick. We started looking at like all the different foods that Chestnut eats because he's not just the hot dog guy. He wins all
Right.
kinds of pulled pork,
Oh, yeah, here we
wings, you
go.
name
Sure.
it. Listen to the wings. Go ahead. Yeah, he does pulled pork. Just shoves pulled pork
I
down
have
his throat.
all kinds of different
This guy's
things
an
here.
anomaly. Give us get
so
some numbers
here's
on the wings. Go
here's
ahead,
a wing
or give
one.
him some numbers. Give him a sense of what he's
Okay.
betting against. Dick, you're in big trouble. That's all I'm telling you.
Joey Chestnut at one point ate 7.61 pounds of buffalo wings in 12 minutes.
Okay.
So just basically
What?
under 8 pounds of wings in
Okay.
12 minutes.
In 12 minutes.
Is something that he's eaten, apparently. He's eaten 55 glazed donuts in 8 minutes.
Okay.
He's done one of those before.
God.
Think of that, Dick. 55.
52 cheeseburgers in 10 minutes.
Oh, my God.
So he's
52 cheeseburgers in 10 minutes, Dick.
How do you do that?
I'm
Yeah,
not
exactly.
entirely sure.
I want to know what the after effects are.
Oh, God.
Like, what do you feel
can't
like
be
the
good.
next day or
Right.
the next week?
Well, I'll tell you this, because
Imagine eating 55 donuts.
Right.
and he does not immediately run. So, he's one.
Yeah, it's not like he's done,
run
Dick,
off
and then
stage
he
and throws
right.
up.
He doesn't.
Like he hangs.
He'll do interviews. He's interviewing after
right,
he's eaten, 70 hot
He goes
dogs.
out to dinner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Going to French
All right, I'm
Texas
getting a little
after
hungry
dinner.
now. My stomach's a little stretched out. Maybe we'll get a
yeah.
bite.
Yeah,
Head to the
yeah.
dinosaur barbecue. Let's go.
Okay,
Right.
So we have that.
So look out.
so I wanted
You're
to get
betting
that-
against someone that is
That's
a
true.
beyond freakish, Dick. You might regret that bet, but I like it. It's
But,
bold,
okay.
and I like it.
Maybe I'm just trying to push that line up a little bit, or maybe get it a little closer and flip to the other side. I don't know.
Boy Green, when is is it actually like, did they do it during the game?
No,
When
it's
is the-
post-game.
It's post-game.
It's
All
post-game.
right.
It's
so Dick,
tonight after the game.
Dick, after the game's over,
Run
you
over
come up
there.
and watch.
Yeah, there you go.
if you want.
There you go. And Dick,
I will. I mean, that is amazing right there.
It's
How do you
crazy.
do that? How do you even train for that? Like, I
that-
can see people running a marathon, right? You're going to
you build up to
run
it, right, yeah.
15 miles. This guy just goes and chows.
Yeah, that's
insane.
very insane. And one more, just sort of off the beaten path here, Dick, is that a couple weeks ago I was in the studio here in Syracuse when this happened. But you were tossed out of a game, and Michael was
Oh,
like,
yes, I heard about
and
this.
Michael was like, boy, I don't know the last time that Dick Scott was thrown out of a game. Mild-mannered guy. I don't know what happened. So, Dick, first off, was the toss out warranted? And do you sort of have it in your head, like, you know what? This is a principle thing. I don't care if I get thrown out. I just want to make sure the message is sent. So, can you walk us through that?
And before you respond, Dick, I have a feeling this had something to do with an electronic strike zone. But you tell us the story.
yeah,
You tell
there
us
you
the
go.
story.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dick.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, a manager's going to get tossed out. It's a little harder nowadays when you have the strike zone because the umpires always just respond, well, if you don't like the call, challenge it. And my response to them is like, hey, we only have 2. We have to be somewhat strategic with that. We just can't challenge them every time we feel like you missed a call. And actually, the umpires are pretty good with their strike zone. It ends up being they're about 50-50 on those, right?
Okay.
We win some, they win some. But in this case, we had a call at first base that the guy missed the call at first. But before that, their team challenged. Remember, they're in the first base dugout, so their hitter got a strike called on him, and you can't have anything come from your own dugout. Like, you can't have somebody yell out challenge. If that happens, there's no challenge available.
Who does
You
it
have to do
have to come
immediately.
from? Who does it have to come from?
the hitter or the catcher or the pitcher. Those are the only three people that can challenge.
All right.
So the hitter gets a strike called on him. He thinks it's a ball. He looks at the umpire. He looks directly into their dugout. Pause, challenge. And so we mentioned, like, you can't do that. It's too long, blah, blah, blah. So then we had a call at first base. Right after that, guy missed the call. I went out to argue, which sometimes I feel is senseless, but, you have to go do it to protect your players, help your players. And as I was walking back past home plate, that umpire was looking at me, and I said, "Hey, listen, you guys gotta pick it up. Like, it's just, you're impacting the game. You need to get up to speed." And I kept walking, and he said, "That's enough." And I said, "I hardly said anything." And he said, "Any more and you're out." And I go, "What is this, first grade?"
Yeah, I mean, what?
Like, you're going to tell me to be quiet, go sit in the corner?
Quiet, please.
And that's when he threw me out.
Did you think about
now? After that, Dick, did you go out and get your money's worth? That's
right.
where you can drop a few 4-letter words and have a little bit of fun.
Grab
dare I
a
say,
plate, rip it up, and
kick
chuck
a little
it or
dirt.
something?
Come on.
Oh yeah, give him the business.
No, I don't do that.
No, none of that.
I am pretty mild mannered, but the thing is, like, now you go out and my thing is always like, you guys messed up calls. I called you out on it. You feel like you have no defense except for to throw me out. Like, that's just not a good strategy for me. It's like, tell me what you had. Like, hey, I had that ball a strike. It was right on the corner. Okay, like, I'll deal with that. But don't stand there like this is your only recourse is to eject me because you don't want to hear what I have to say about guys missing calls. That's the big thing for me. But sometimes you have to just go out. Your players are upset. It's been one of those games, and you'll see it all the time in the big leagues. Guys go out and they just get ejected because they're sticking up for their players, and it's just the way it's always been. I used to get a kick out of some of the guys back in the day, like Bobby Cox. Like, he had no problem going out and getting run, 8 or 9 times a year. Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I think in the course of a season, like in a minor league, you get thrown out like 3 or 4 times. That's probably
it's a limit,
a lot for minor leagues. But guys in the Aaron Boone, like he's got like a Ripken-like streak of being ejected.
Yes.
So I don't know. It happens. It just happens.
Dick, you know what they say in life? It's the quiet ones that are the most dangerous, my friend.
Sure.
When they blow, Dick, they blow. And so, listen, the next time it happens, maybe you get one more this season. If you get another one of these, treating you like a first grader thing. Like, let it go, Dick. Like, just kick the dirt, do the whole thing. Because I think if you let it go, you'd be good for a year.
Yeah, roll down your sleeves.
I'll be honest with you, Dick. I think half the reason I do this radio show is so that I can blow every morning.
It's cathartic.
This way, I'm okay the rest of the day. Otherwise, I wouldn't be okay.
It's really a release.
See, really, you got some pent up energy there.
I definitely do, Dick. I
do.
definitely do.
You got to get it out. Yeah,
I got to get it out.
I saw. It's interesting. I saw on X or Twitter, whatever. Remember back in the day when the minor league guy got thrown out when he did the army crawl behind the mound, picked up the rosin bag, and threw it like a grenade in at the umpire.
Yeah, right.
I just happened to see that, and I was like, man, you might be just fired from baseball after doing something like that this day and age. But there's some good ones out there, but probably not for me. The key is to do it at home, hopefully. And just get the crowd in the game. So, anyway,
just go
where
back.
We're at.
Just go back. Watch some old video of either Earl Weaver or Lou Piniella, because those two guys know how to do it.
Oh my gosh.
They were going to get their money's worth no matter what.
Yeah, those are classic.
And what was his nickname,
arguments.
by the way? Sweet Lou. Sweet Lou.
Sweet Lou. Yeah.
Not so sweet when an umpire crossed him the wrong way.
No,
all right.
he could explode.
All right, Dick, you mentioned it. You want your team to pick it up here a little bit in this series. Let's finish off with that. So I know Tidwell's going tonight, I think, right, for you guys. So let's talk about getting on track in the series and being back home on a 90-degree evening here in Syracuse. You got a little summer swoon here.
Yeah, we're happy to have some warm weather. We have had so much rain up until now. It's been like we haven't been able to get work. How about this? Up until our last road trip, we were on the field collectively, no matter if we were home or away, 11 days in 2 months.
Wow.
Because of rain. We just couldn't get out there to do work. So yesterday we had a good day with our pregame. Today we'll do more today. But we got Tidwell. We've had some guys called to the big leagues. I don't know if we had Brandon Waddell called up the night before last.
Right.
Or yesterday. There may be others in the movement today. Can't say. But, so our rotation's taken a little bit of a hit. But we have Tidwell tonight. He's been throwing very well. He pitched his last couple starts. He's been dominating, and he has good stuff. A hard thrower, so hopefully he gets us back on track. The bullpen's been throwing well. We just been inconsistent. Like, we'll pitch one day, and then we don't really hit. Like last night, we came out, we were down 1-0 after the top of the first. We score 4 quick ones in the bottom, take a 4-1 lead, and then we just kind of stop for the rest of the night offensively. And we played good defense last night. We pitched pretty well, but it's just we gotta time those up, and that's what we were doing in Omaha. But I guess that's where I come in, and the other coaches. We have to just make sure that we're getting things right for each game.
All right. Well, look, we got you home this week, and we got you home the week of the 17th, so we'll get 2 nice little stints here for you guys. Buffalo this week, Jacksonville the week of the 17th. In between, you headed down to Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. Dick Scott, always great to talk to you, my friend. Thanks for spending a little time with us today.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys calling, and we'll see you out at the ballpark sometime.
All right, and watch that Chestnut thing tonight.
Yeah, feed
Go
Chestnut.
see that.
Feed him bring him in the catering. Yes.
All right, trying to slow him down.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Thanks, Dick.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
There he is, the skipper of the Mets, Dick Scott, giving us some love here on a Wednesday morning.